So today we will discuss templates. Fine. So in general, templates is nothing but a generic form, generic model or mock model, right? So in a similar fashion here, we can have generic functions and generic classes, right? Which help you to perform the operation that is being specified on generic data type, in the sense that you can use that particular function to perform the operation on all possible data types based on your desire, okay, or your requirement. Fine. So I can here define template as it is a generic data type, okay. The other way around, I can say it is a family of all data types, right? Syntax is template. Within the tags, you will mention class space the template type. Template is a generic data type, right? T is going to now specify the template data type, right? Let us say, for example, I have to perform addition operation, okay, for which I want to define a function type. So how do I do that? First, you need to take the template. So template data type I'm defining here. Template within the tags, I'm saying class space T. So T is going to become the template or the generic data type. The type which is not specified, but over which the operation has to be carried out is going to be mentioned here in the function, right? So let us say, for example, the add function is taking two arguments of T kind, okay, and performing, let us say, addition of these two and returns. The addition of T type will result T type only, right? The return type is T and the arguments are also of T kind, okay. Now, since the type is not mentioned, fine, we do not know on which particular data type this operation is going to be carried out. But it will allow you to perform any kind of data type. T means generic. Generic in the sense, in place of T, I can have integer or character, float or long or double or any structure kind or any class kind, okay, a class of matrix kind, class of vector kind, string kind, or probably a complex number kind. It all depends on you, right? So here I want to demonstrate it in the main function. Where do you basically implement it? You implement in the main function, right? So during the time of implementation, you are going to specify the type of this particular template, okay. Let us say, for example, I want to perform this operation on integer kind, okay. I can perform this now on any kind since it is a generic, right? I'm here first, let us say, taking the integer variables. Okay. And now I'm specifying some values to AB. Let us say you can read some values from keyboard as well if you want. Enter two integer numbers, right? And you will be reading here A and B, right? Now, as here itself, I'll show you. After I read, now I want to call this function add by passing this AB. So it returns me the result that I'm going to store it in, let us say C, okay? Add of A comma B. And then the C I can probably print, right? Sum. of A and B equal to C. Okay. So similarly, I can perform, add operation on float kind as well, right? I directly take the float values, pass from here. Sum of float numbers equal to add of 74.5, 48.5. Okay, this is a float kind. I want to perform the additional, let us say, character kind. Sum of characters equal to add of, let us say I'm passing capital A, comma capital B. Okay, characters I'm passing. Now let us try to demonstrate this. What happens? See, the execution always starts from main, as you know, right? So A, B, C are the three variables here you have declared. So what happens for this A, B, C? Memory is going to be allocated 2 bytes each, right? A, B, and C, right? Now enter two integer numbers. You are asking. The user is going to enter some values. Let us say he has entered 10 and 20, which have been placed in AB. Now you are going to call function add by passing AB. What are that AB? 10 and 20, right? Got it. So this 10 and 20 which are being passed here, this AB are local to this particular one. This AB are local to this particular one, right? This AB are integer, whereas this AB are T kind. Got it? But then what happens when you are calling the template function? This is a function template, right? So when you are calling the function templates, right, the kind of values that you are going to pass to their arguments based on which a version of this kind of that data type with that particular data type is going to be generated. It means when I am calling this add function by passing A comma B, what happens? A version of integer kind is going to be generated from this generic. It means replacing T with integer, replacing T with integer, a function is going to be generated. Got it? Int comma int. A version is generated. Got it? And this version is going to be implemented for this particular call. It means that for function templates, the memory will not be allocated. Memory is going to be allocated only when the data type is mentioned, because the specification at the compiler will have to create the memory only for data types. See, when you are saying T is a generic kind, the computer does not know that what could be the data type of that T could be until the execution. Then it does not know how much memory does it require, right? So it means for function template, memory will not be created. Got it? There is no activation function is going to be generated for function. Okay. Activation record, right? There is no activation record is going to be generated for function until it is being implemented with certain data type. So here you are seeing that add function is being called by passing A and B, where A and B are integer kind. Now a version of integer kind from this particular generic is going to be generated, and which is going to be called here. And for this particular version, of course, memory will be created, because the data type is clearly mentioned. All these T's are going to be replaced with integer kind. Then what happens? Integer required 2 bytes. So based on which how much memory basically required for this function is going to be created. That means an activation record is going to be generated. Fine. So then that particular function, right, is going to be here invoked. So when you are saying A comma B, that 10 and 20 are going to be passed here, and the 10, 20 will be then added and returned. You get the value 30 assigned to C. And you are saying sum of A is nothing but 10 here, sum of 10 and 20 equal to 30 will be displayed. Got it? And in the next statement, you are saying that see out sum of float numbers. Now you are calling the same add function and passing float values, you can see here. So when you are passing float values, a version of float kind from this particular generic, it is going to be generated. It means another version is going to be generated here with float, right? It means replacing t with float. If version of this kind for float is going to be generated, and that is going to be invoked here. So by passing this float values to these arguments and being added, and the return result is going to be returned, which is going to be printed here, right? And here again you can see another time you are calling the add function. We are passing character values. Character values are represented with single quotes. Yes or no? So I am passing capital A, capital B. What is the ASCII equivalent value of capital A? That is 65. So 65 and 66 automatically, when you are basically adding the character, their ASCII equivalent values are going to be added, right? So when you are calling add function here by passing character values, what happens? A version of character kind from this particular function is going to be generated, replacing t with character. Replacing t with character, a version is going to be generated, which is going to be here called. Got it? So when it is called, then what it does, it will take both the characters A and B. Its ASCII equivalent values are going to be added. The result of the same, okay, but it's going to be 131. So 131 equivalent ASCII character is going to be printed here, right? Basically, you have only 128 characters. So what happens if it is more than 128? It will subtract, from it will subtract the sum, which is when exceeded more than 128 with 128, and the value generated out of it, equivalent character will be displayed here. Got it? So I hope this is clear to all of you. So what is happening here, for function templates, memory will not be created. In function template, you specify the generic data type. You don't specify the data type on which the operation is going to be carried out. In function templates, you specify the operation. Here you have specified the operation, but you do not specify the data types. They are generic, okay? So when you are going to execute it, rather, right, at the time of execution, you pass the data type, you pass the values of certain kind. It means certain data type holding values, right? So based on that particular data type, a version of this particular function template with respect to that particular data type is going to be generated, and that is going to be called here. And another time, if you are calling the same by passing different data types, then another version of this particular function with respect to that particular data type is going to be generated, and that is going to be called here. And again, if you are calling this particular function by passing certain other data type, then another version of this particular function with respect to that particular data type is going to be generated, and that is going to be called. Now you can tell me what is the advantage of having this particular function template? Yes, the advantage of having the function template is, instead of writing the addition function for integer, float, and character separately 3 times, if I write only once like this, the same I can call it for all these 3. Yes or no? This is the advantage behind having the function templates, which will reduce the code. When it reduces the code, automatically the cost of the code is going to be reduced. Yes or no? Then obviously it is cost effective. From the memory point of view, if you see, when it is being implemented, memory occupation is going to be equivalent to when you are writing it separately. But then you do not know for how many data types you are going to call. Based on only the data types that you are going to call during the runtime, the memory will be allocated, right, for the versions that are required, to implement those respective data types. Otherwise, it is not required. Yes or no? So memory efficiency, memory is going to be allocated only when it is required. So it means effective utilization of memory is going to be done. Effective utilization of memory is going to be done it reduces the code, it reduces the typing of the programmer, it reduces the cost of the project. So obviously cost is cost effective, I can say, right? So these are all the advantages of having the function templates, right? For function template, memory will not be created. But when it is called with respect to certain data types, a version of function template is going to be, I hope all of you are writing, is going to be created. Is going to be created with respect to that data type. And the same is going to be implemented. And the same is going to be implemented. Similarly, it can be called for any number of data type. Okay, what did I write here? For function template, memory will not be created, but when it is called with respect to certain data types, a version of function template is going to be created with respect to that data type, and the same is going to be implemented. Similarly, it can be called for any number of data types. Okay, so what are the advantages of having this function templates? Yes. Advantages are effective utilization of memory. Yes or no? Effective utilization of memory. And it reduces the typing effort of the programmer. Yes or no? Reduces the code, thereby reduces the cost. Thereby reduces the cost. So these are the advantages of the function template. I hope this is clear to all of you. We can go for demonstration if this is clear. I hope I have already written one program, a template. If it is there, I'll show you the same. Otherwise, if you want me to demonstrate one which I have explained, the same I can rather explain you. Okay. Of course, the same example I have written here. You can see. Is the screen visible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can see here the same example. This function add, okay, is taking two arguments, A and B, right? Both are of t kind. So it is going to add these two arguments A plus B, and the result which you get out of it is of course t kind, which is going to be written here, right? Now you can see in the main function, I am implementing it for integer kind here. Okay, this add of I comma j is implementing it for integer kind, and I have taken two float variables m and n that I can even implement it for float. I can even implement it for character, long, double, as I said, for any data type, right? So the same example here it is mentioned. I'm implementing it for integer and float kind. I just execute and show you the. So you can see the output here. Can you see the output here? Yes, the first one is integer addition. When you are calling add of I comma j, where I value is 2 and 3, 2 plus 3 is going to be 5 here. So that it has done here. And in the next one, you can see you are adding float kind values. 2.3, 1.2 is going to be 3.5. So you can see here, you got 3.5. So I hope this is clear to all of you, but if you want me to explain you the execution, I can probably explain you once again. So let us try to understand this program. What is happening? You are creating two variables, I and j. I is equipped with 2 and j is equipped with 3. You are calling what? Add of I comma j. See here, add I comma j. When you say, what is that you are passing? You are passing ij, which are of integer kind. You are calling this function, right? So in this function, okay, you have actually template kind, means generic kind, but then you are passing I comma j, which are of integer kind. Then what happens? A version of this particular template is going to be generated here, right? A version is going to be generated. Replacing t with integer. It means you will have one activation record generated for it, replacing t with integer, right? And then performing what? Integer kind addition, right? And this version is going to be called here. When you are calling add I comma j, it is calling this version, right? So thereby it is going to give you the result of integer addition, right? Again, you are calling add m comma n. So when you are calling the same add by passing m comma n, where m comma n are, you can see float kind. So now replacing t with float, another version of this particular function template is going to be generated, replacing t with float, right? So this version is going to be here called for this particular function. and then produces the result equivalent out of it, right? So when you have a generic function, advantage of having generic function is instead of writing these two, functions, I'm writing a single function here, right? If I did not have template, then in order to execute this, I need to have integer addition separately and float addition separately. Yes or no? So I'm able to reduce the code here. Instead of writing 2 times, when the operation is same, okay, only the data types are changed. Instead of rewriting, I'm writing it as a function template, so that during the time of implementation, based on the data type, the system automatically takes care of generating the versions equivalent to with respect to that respective data type, and then implement us in a very similar fashion when we write it separately. Okay, so that is the advantage. The advantage of having the function is memory, effective utilization of memory. It reduces the cost, right? It reduces the typing effort of the programmer. Okay, typing effort of the programmer. Fine. And makes the program more effective, efficient, and elegant. Okay, so these are the advantages of having the function template, right? You can apply templates on classes as well, right? If I apply templates on classes, then I say it is class template, right? It means that if a class consists of set of functions, and I want this particular class to be implemented on different data type. Okay, so instead of writing or rewriting that class specifying those data types every time with the same set of functions specifying the same set of operations, you can write it only once as a class template, and then you can implement it for all such kind of data types for which you want to rather implement. Okay, for example, data structure stack you have, right? Stack of course is a part of the system memory for all recursion and expression evaluation, conversion, all such kind of thing. The operating system is making use of stack memory. The stack is based on last in first out concept, right? So stack memory is going to be allocated for every user, for every programmer, whenever you request your task to the operating system. Okay, so all stack operations will be done in the memory allocated for you. Okay, so here the kind of operation that you perform on stack, again it could be with integer, float, long, double, all such kind of data types. So instead of having the same stack class being repeated with respect to different data types, if a single stack class is there specified with the generic one, then based on the data type during the implementation, a version of the same can be generated and the same is going to be implemented for the user, right? The stack operations are going to be fixed. Fine, it gives you what last in first out. It will have push and pop operations. The operations are constant, right? But it can be implemented on different kind of data type. So instead of writing that particular stack class, for every such kind of data type, if you have it as a generic kind using the template, then that can suffice for all requirements, right? You can probably use the same for implementing, all such data types that probably you need during the execution. I hope this is clear. We are lacking of time, otherwise I could have started that stack template concept as well. We'll probably see that concept in the next class, right? Stack template, class template transfer, right? So if I apply the template on the function, I say it is a function template. If I apply the same on the class, I say it is a class template. I hope it is clear to all of you, right?